Welcome to our FTP support video for Crook and Chase. We're going to go over how to access our FTP server and download both your audio and your cue sheets for the weekly Crook and Chase Countdown weekend program. So by now, you should have an email that has your access credentials. It's going to have a fully embedded link at the top. It's going to include your username, your password, and the direct path to where your files are posted every week. For reference, we start uploading files at 6 a.m. Pacific time every Thursday. That will change for the 4 or 5 weeks where we have major domestic holidays, and that schedule it changes based on the availability of the Crook and Chase production team. But for the other 47 weeks of the year, it's every Thursday, 6 a.m. Pacific time. Files will start to upload. It'll probably take, let's say, an hour or so for all of the affiliate folders to be completely populated. So to access our FTP server, you have a couple different options. If you go ahead and click on the embedded link, it will log you in. It'll use whatever default browser is on the machine you're working with. In this case, it's Google Chrome, and take you right into the folder, and it's going to show you all the files that are posted there. The negative here is you can only download one at a time. It's a little clunky, and it's not quite as fast. So instead, we recommend the use of Windows Explorer or File Explorer. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this link. If you do not have what looks like to be a manila file folder on your task bar, you can right click the start menu. Depending on which operating system you're working on, it's either going to say open Windows Explorer, open File Explorer, or just simply the word Explore. So we're going to open that. All takes you to the same place. We're going to go ahead and click in the address bar and paste our link, hit enter, or there was a blue arrow in here you could click on and get you to the same place. And you see that I'm logged in. There are 34 items in here. Why is that? Well, there are two complete sets of files. One is for Saturday, one is for Sunday. If you happen to err on both days, we need you to grab both entire sets of files and make sure that you use the specific set for Saturday on Saturday and the specific set for Sunday on Sunday. The reason being is the embedded national inventory can and will differ between the 2 days based on the needs of our individual advertisers, and we want to make sure that you're grabbing the correct audio for the correct day part. So I'm going to click in here. I'm going to hold down Control and A to highlight everything. While I'm holding down Control, I'm going to right click, copy to folder. You see that I have a temporary folder created on my desktop. I'm going to highlight that and hit OK. And it's going to go ahead and start downloading everything in my folder. You can also click and drag. You can copy paste. All of these functions work the same. We like to do copy to folder. It's a little bit more precise or just more efficient. Just about done here. Now, if you're watching this video and you are an international affiliate, you can skip to the end. The process of downloading content from a specific folder to a local folder, which is what we're doing right now, does not differ. Just your location is going to differ, but you're also going to see that in your individual email. Alright, we're done here, so we can close out our FTP connection, and I can browse to my temp folder, and I see all my files. Now, these file names may look a little confusing to you, so we will also provide you with the schematic that will tell you exactly what file name belongs with what segment. You'll notice that 900.276 is our one, segment 1 for Saturday. 900.295 is Hour 1, Segment 1 for Sunday. The promos that are grayed out, Hour 4, Segment 5, 6, 7, and 8, are always the last 4 in the set. They're also the smallest files, so they're easy to identify. And that it literally is all it takes to connect to our FTP server, browse to your specific station folder, and download your audio files. One additional step that you can do, we'll go ahead and go back into our station folder. Weekly cue sheets. So I'm in my station folder now. I need to go up one level, so I'm going to click on Crook and Chase. Let's change my view. I need to go into the 1-cue sheets folder, and you see I've got a PDF there. And if I drag that out and open her up, this is the very specific rundown of this week's countdown. You will also see this title and artist for your songs for your ASCAP reporting, as well as the segment length and time. And we recommend that when you load these files into your automation, you're double checking against the cue sheet, just on the off chance that a mistake is made. It will point itself out to you. So that is how to connect to our FTP server, download with Windows Explorer. We're also going to show you how to do it with an FTP client program. This particular one is Filezilla. You can find this on www.filezilla-project.org. There is a Windows and Mac version there. You're going to want to download the client version, not the server version, the client version. If you're going to regularly access our FTP server or anybody else's, I highly recommend the use of client software. You are much less susceptible to temporary folder or file or caching problems with a client program versus just a simple Windows features. So up here is called the Quick Connect bar. My host is ftp.premiere-networks.com. My username found in my email. In this case, it's test. I can leave the port blank, or I can port 21. That's the default FTP port. I can go ahead and hit Quick Connect. On the right hand side, this is the remote server. Scroll down to Crook and Chase. Scroll down to Test FM. And I'm going to highlight everything, hold down Control, drag them down to the queue. On the left hand side, I'm going to browse to my local folder that I want to download them to. I'm creating a new folder, and then I'm going to go up here to my transfer menu, process queue. And it's going to go ahead and download everything that's in my queue from the FTP server to my newly created temporary subfolder. So if I go to temp, I go to Filezilla. If I refresh, I should see some of these here. Not quite yet. There we go. It downloaded them into a different folder. Okay. So it didn't like my temporary folder. There they are. So there we go. If that were to happen to you and you cannot find them, all you might have to do is go ahead and make sure, let's go ahead and remove, that's in our queue is empty. Let's go ahead and make sure our local site is selected first. We're going to refresh with F5, and let's just take the promos since it's super fast, and I'm going to drag them right to left. And if you drag them right to left like that, it will go ahead and download them automatically. You won't have to process the queue like we did a minute ago. Temporary Filezilla, there we go. So if for some reason it downloads to a folder you didn't think it was going to download to, like it just did for me, that's how to work your way back and find out where your files are. So along with the Quick Connect bar, you can create yourself a profile in Site Manager. You can either File menu or this drop-down menu. Open Site Manager. We're going to go to New Site. I'm just going to name this Crook and Chase. On the right hand side in the General tab, my host is ftp.premiere-networks.com. Logon type is normal. User is test password. Now what I would like to do is go ahead and down here in the comments box, go ahead and type yourself a reminder as to what your password is, because obviously you can't tell. This way, if you lose the email, if you lose your notes, it's also saved in Filezilla. Now there are some advanced options. You can go ahead and tell it to automatically default to a local directory, and I can also type in my folder path so that anytime I go ahead and connect to this saved location, you see that it's got me over here. My local site is the Filezilla folder. The right hand side, it logs me straight into test.fm, and I'm ready to go. And the next time I go to Filezilla, I can open it up, drop down, Crook and Chase, ready to go. And if you don't see anything in your FTP folder, you want to click in here, hit F5 to refresh, and that will show you any updated content that we've put in there since the last time you were inside of that folder. And that's how to access our server, download your files with both Windows Explorer and an FTP client software. This case is Filezilla. The last step we're going to show you is how to map a Windows shortcut to your machine to make your life a little easier the next time around. So we're going to right click computer, we're going to add a network location and hit next, choose next. This is where I'm going to use my embedded link again, paste, next. You can name this whatever you want. Let's just name it Crook and Chase. Next, and I'm going to go ahead and open it up, and you can see that it has created on the left hand side in my folder tree a shortcut. And the last step, I'm going to click on that. I'm going to right click, send to desktop where it says create shortcut. I'm going to close that window. So next week I come in and I want to go ahead and log in and check my folder. All I got to do is double check my shortcut, or double click my shortcut, and I can proceed with the download from there. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please email us at ftp@premiere-networks.com. It's ftp at premiere with PREMIERE networks.com. Thank you very much. Real quick, almost forgot. For our international friends, you're going to get the same layout with your embedded link and your username and password broken out, but it's going to look slightly different for you. you're going to go into the Crook and Chase International folder. You're going to just go into the MP3 folder. It's one size fits all for all of our international friends because there are no commercials in these files. It's just the feature audio. Domestic affiliates will not be able to get in here. That's protected, but your international access will grant you entry into this folder, and you see that your cue sheet is out in the open. So you can proceed with the download just like we've talked about with the other version. You can copy the folder, you can click and drag, copy paste. You can also use an FTP client software. Any of your choices will also work with the international directory. And thank you very much. Again, questions, ftp@premierenetworks.com.